Okay, so have you ever seen like one of those disaster movies?
Yeah. Huh?
You know, like where an asteroid slams into the Earth
Right.
and like wipes out civilization as we know it?
Yeah, totally.
Well, today we're diving into something that kind of sounds like that.
Okay.
It's called the Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis.
All right.
And it's a scientific mystery
Yeah.
that explores whether a comet or asteroid
Hmm.
actually hit the Earth thousands of years ago
Wow.
and like caused massive changes to the planet.
Really?
So to understand this whole Younger Dryas impact thing,
Yeah.
we need to talk about like this period in Earth's history called the Younger Dryas,
Okay.
which happened around 12,800 years ago.
Okay.
And basically it was like this sudden cold snap that interrupted the warming trend after the last ice age.
Interesting.
And scientists were like super puzzled by it for decades.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, why did it get suddenly cold again?
Right.
And so this impact hypothesis is one possible explanation.
Okay. I see.
So let's talk about like the evidence for this impact.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the things that researchers have found are these layers of dark soil called black mats.
Black Max.
Yeah. And they're found at like archaeological sites across North America.
Oh,
And they all date back to the start of the Younger Dryas.
okay.
So what do you think those black mats could tell us?
Well, so black mats are often associated with like fire, so maybe there were some huge wildfires going on.
Yeah, they're like a sign of like massive wildfires and burning.
Wow.
And they contain high concentrations of charcoal and soot, which are like indicators of burning.
That's pretty crazy to think about, like massive wildfires raging across the continent.
I know, right? And get this, it's not just North America.
Really?
These black mats are found on multiple continents.
No way.
Yeah, so it's like,
So this is like a global thing.
yeah, like a global event.
Wow.
There's also evidence from Greenland ice cores
Okay.
from that time period
Yeah.
that show these like spikes in ammonium and other chemicals. And basically what these ice cores tell us is that around 12,800 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
something caused massive fires all over the planet,
Yeah.
releasing huge amounts of chemicals into the atmosphere.
So all this stuff like points to a really big event.
Yeah, but how do we know that an impact could actually cause such a big climate change?
Right.
Like, how do we go from impact to like a steady drop in temperature?
Well, scientists use climate models to kind of like simulate
Oh, good.
what might have happened.
Okay.
And when they run these simulations, they find that a large enough impact could actually trigger a cooling period.
Oh, wow.
And it's like pretty consistent with what we see with the Younger Dryas.
So the models are basically saying like, yeah, an impact could do that.
Yeah, they're giving us some good support for the theory.
But models are just models, right?
Right. They're not like perfect representations of reality.
Yeah, they're tools to help us understand things, but they're not proof.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say this impact did happen.
Mm-hmm.
You've got these wildfires raging across continents. The climate's going crazy.
What about all the animals?
Oh,
Like the mammoths and mastodons and giant sloths.
yeah. What about all the megafaunas?
Yeah. Did this event contribute to their extinction?
That's a really good question, and it's one that scientists are still trying to figure out.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think about it. The impact could have had all these devastating effects like the wildfires, climate disruption, ecosystem collapse.
Yeah.
It definitely could have played a role.
Okay.
But we also have to remember that there were other things going on at the time, like natural climate change and human hunting.
Right.
So it was probably like a combination of factors that led to the extinction of these megafauna.
So maybe the impact was like the final straw.
Yeah, for some species, it might have been the tipping point.
Oh, what about humans?
Oh, yeah.
Like early humans were already around. Did this
Right.
impact have affected them too?
Well, so there was this culture of early humans in North America called the Clovis culture,
Okay.
and they were known for their unique stone tools.
But what's interesting is that they seem to disappear from the archaeological record right around the time of the Younger Dryas.
Oh, wow.
So did this impact event have something to do with their decline?
Yeah, like, did it wipe them out or force them to change?
Exactly. Those are the questions that researchers are still trying to answer.
It's like a big puzzle.
It is.
But not everyone believes in this impact theory, right?
Yeah, there are definitely some scientists who are skeptical of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis.
Okay, why is that?
Well, for one thing, some researchers argue that the evidence for an impact just isn't strong enough. And they point to like inconsistencies in the data.
Okay.
And then there are others who have proposed alternative explanations for the Younger Dryas.
Like what?
Well, one idea is that massive floods of fresh water from melting glaciers
Okay.
could have disrupted ocean currents,
Yeah.
and that could have led to the cooling.
So it's like a debate.
Yeah, there are different interpretations of the evidence,
That's good.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's how science works.
Yeah, like healthy debate helps us get closer to the truth.
Exactly.
So where do we stand now with this younger Dryas impact hypothesis?
Well, it's still an active area of research.
Okay.
Scientists are gathering more data, refining their models.
Yeah.
We have all this evidence that points to an impact,
Hmm.
but we also have to consider the counterarguments and alternative explanations.
So it's not a done deal.
Not yet. The jury's still out.
That's so interesting. Like we're trying to piece together this ancient mystery.
It really is fascinating.
And it could completely change how we understand Earth's history.
Yeah, it could rewrite the textbooks.
It really makes you think, like, what if this impact really did happen?
Right.
How would that change our view of the planet and the resilience of life?
And could something like that happen again?
Yeah. And how would we prepare for it?
That's a big question.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But